It's Payton and AJ, and you're listening to 88.1 KDPS Radio Des Moines. What a disappointing week it's been for the college basketball world. It all started off when the FBI announced on Tuesday that there are federal corruption charges against 4 NCAA assistant basketball coaches, which were Chuck Person from Auburn, Emmanuel Richardson from Arizona, Lamont Evans from Oklahoma State, and Tony Bland from USC. And now the investigation has apparently gone on for 3 years, even though nobody's heard anything about it until Tuesday. The investigation is still ongoing, and what it found is that coaches were taking bribes of tens of thousands of dollars to force certain players to come to their schools and sign with a specific sportswear company. And now the highest profile guy, James Gatto, the director of global sports marketing for Adidas, allegedly gave 6-figure payments to 3 unnamed players to play for schools affiliated with Adidas. And then it just came out yesterday that Louisville coach Rick Pitino, Hall of Fame caliber coach, and athletic director Tom Urich were fired for being linked to yet another scandal.
Yes, which Pitino said about this scandal that just happened. He had no idea of this happening. And this is not the first scandal that Louisville has been involved in. It came out about last year in March that Louisville did have a sex scandal from the years of 2010 to 2014 where an assistant coach hired dancers and escorts for recruits and players. And because of this eventually led to a 1-year postseason ban, which excluded Louisville from the 2016 NCAA basketball tournament. I find this ironic and kind of hard to believe that Rick Pitino didn't know about the case that just came out a couple days ago, and then he claims that he did not know about the sex scandal that occurred about a year and a half ago.
And that's exactly right. I mean, yes, he's a Hall of Fame coach. He's done a lot in his career. The fact that he got away, I mean, it was found that, well, apparently he didn't know anything about it. But he still got to keep his job. The coach, there's only one assistant coach, I believe, in that situation that got fired, and that was the one that kind of organized the whole thing. Yeah, I would be shocked if Louisville basketball was completely shut down. That would be crazy for the college basketball world. So as the college basketball corruption scandal is ongoing, I guess we'll see if other high-profile programs also get busted. Up next, Peyton and I will be discussing what the rest of the football season holds for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
It's Peyton and AJ, and you're listening to 88.1 KDPS Radio Des Moines. This past weekend, Iowa hosted Penn State in a heart-wrenching game for Iowa fans. Iowa eventually lost 21-19 on the last second play.
I still can't believe that. That was a tough game to watch there at the end.
Yes, heartbreaker for all Iowa fans. The impact player of that game, Saquon Barkley, who is a Heisman candidate this year, he had 28 rushing attempts with 211 yards and 1 touchdown. He
really surprised me. I thought maybe coming into that game he was a little bit overrated, and I thought Iowa would surely try to shut him down, but it seemed the Hawkeyes defense just let him do whatever he wanted. And after that performance, I saw this morning that he's moved up to number 2 on Mel Kiper's draft board for next season.
Yeah, he will be a very, very high draft pick this coming NFL draft. Very good player. So looking forward, how do you think Iowa's schedule looks?
Well, to me, I think the Big Ten has 3 different tiers of teams. Like there's the ranked teams, Penn State, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio State. And then it seems that like Rutgers is the only team that's bad every year since they've joined the Big Ten.
Yep.
But then every other team in the Big Ten seems like they're pretty equal in the sense that they can show up and win any game they play in, but they could also completely lay an egg and not play well at all. So, like for example, Iowa gave up 42 points to Iowa State.
Yes, that overtime win.
Yes, they gave up a lot of points to a mediocre Iowa State team, but I know they're a couple weeks later, they're getting better, only giving up 21 points to a top 5 team in the country. And I think that's what's going to get him far. That's what's going to help him stay consistent. But then, as we talked about earlier, Nathan Stanley, he's going to be the key in Iowa winning games.
Yes, and I think with more experience for Stanley, he'll shape up in that quarterback spot. He's only a true sophomore, and I think as time goes on, reading his keys and reading the defense will get a lot easier for him, as well as being more comfortable in the pocket. His passes haven't been that on point, especially the deep ball. He needs to put a little bit more touch on that, but as I think time goes on, I think Stanley will become a great quarterback for the Hawkeyes. So this weekend, Iowa hosts Michigan State up in Michigan, and that game will be at 3 o'clock on Fox. You're listening to 88.1 KDPS Radio, Des Moines.
It's Payton and AJ, and you're listening to 88.1 KDPS Radio, Des Moines. We're going to end our segment today with a feel-good story. Asura Tuaulu is a former NFL defensive lineman that played for 5 teams in 9 years in the NFL. And most athletes, they turn to broadcasting, coaching once they're done with their career. But Tuaulu had another passion, and that happens to be singing. And so while he's retired, he's sang the national anthem for various sporting events. And now he's trying to pursue a much bigger career in singing. Recently, he performed on NBC's The Voice with a rendition of Andra Day's Rise Up and surprised the audience with his singing ability. But he didn't take the conventional path to get to this moment.
No, he did not. And by the way, he has a great voice. Had a chance to watch the video. And it's not a voice you would expect from someone his size, being a macho man coming out of the NFL. But yes, he took an unusual path after coming out of the NFL. For one, after he finished his career in the NFL, he came out as gay after being terrified while he was in the NFL.
And just think of how hard that had to have been for him. He has that huge weight on his shoulders throughout his playing career while he's playing games. He's played in some big games in his career, which we'll get to that. But he's in the locker room with other guys, which I'm sure for some people that'd be weird. But yeah, he's lived his football career with that weight on his shoulders, and it's hard to imagine how he could play through those games with that.
Yeah, and he even said that after he came out, he felt like there was a mountain that was lifted off his chest. So I'm happy for him that he finally is who he wants to be, and it's great that he's now found a different path in his life.
He could have had a chance to be the first active athlete in a major sport in the United States to come out as gay, because his playing career was back in the late 90s. I think he retired in 1999. But the first one to come out gay was Jason Collins, NBA player, and that was only just 4 years ago in 2013.
Yeah, and that was a big impact then in that year. And just think of if Tuaulu would have came out previous in his NFL career, if that would have stirred up our society today, or
I think everything would have been advanced. Because, and then also just a couple years ago, we had our first NFL player come out, Michael Sam. I think if he did come out, that would have been probably a bigger deal back then than it would have been now, just because in today's society, it's okay to be gay. I mean, there's some people that have problems with it, but it's really not that big of a deal. However, it would have been a huge deal back then, and I think more athletes wouldn't have had a problem with coming out earlier than what Jason Collins and Michael Sam did.
Yep, I agree.
Asura Tuaulu is definitely an inspiration for NFL players that want to pursue a different career afterwards, and definitely the LGBT community. You're listening to 88.1 KDPS Radio, Des Moines.
Everybody line up, shoot a free throw. If you make it, you're on the team. You'll never make a college team. Get out of here, Jimmy.
Hey Jimmy, how did the tryout go?
Yeah, man, did you make the team?
No, I really wanted to play basketball in college, but it doesn't look like I'm good enough.
Actually, at Grandview University, you can play competitive basketball through Intramurals, no matter your skill level.
Like a pickup basketball game?
Yeah, sort of.
Everyone is invited. You choose your own team, and most importantly, it's a blast.
I'm in. I haven't played competitive basketball since I got cut from the high school team.
It is extremely competitive, so you better be ready to play.
You'll never make a college team.
Trust me, I'm ready.
He was once cut from his high school team, but he's this year's intramural MVP. Jimmy!
Come be the star of your intramural team at Grandview University. It is Switch Week on the Edge 88.1. Brandon just left the studio, and now I, AJ, will be taking over for the last hour of BA Sports. If you stayed up later than what you normally would on a Wednesday night, then you saw what was an absolutely terrific Game 2 of the World Series between the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. The two teams combined for a total of 8 home runs, which is the most ever in the history of the World Series. 5 of those came in the 10th and 11th innings. And also, Houston became the first team in a postseason game to hit home runs in the 9th, 10th, and 11th innings. So it was a historic night for sure. Now, this was a big loss for the Dodgers for multiple reasons. First, they blew a 3-1 lead going into the 8th inning. Brandon Morrow and Kenley Jansen, the closers for the team, couldn't seal the deal. Secondly, the Dodgers went through their entire bullpen. The Astros saw every reliever that they had, and in the World Series, when you could potentially see each other for 7 games, that's a problem. And lastly, the series shifts to Houston, where the Astros will play 3 games in a row at home. They will see Clayton Kershaw on the mound once again, but however, I don't see him duplicating his Game 1 performance. The Astros will win this series in 5 games. Coming up on BA Sports, it's about time we all give Lonzo Ball a break. You're listening to The Edge 88.1. You're listening to The Edge 88.1. It's AJ bringing you the second half of BA Sports. It's about time that we give Lonzo Ball a break, don't you think? The guy can play, but we all want to see him fail because of his father, LeVar. Keep in mind, Lonzo Ball is only 19 years old and turns 20 tomorrow. What were we all doing when we turned 20 years old? Most of us were probably either entering our sophomore year of college or getting started in the work field with just a basic entry-level job. Lonzo Ball is playing in the NBA. He has struggled to find his shot through the first 4 games of the season, but it's clear that he doesn't need it to be successful. He has outstanding court vision, and he has been able to make plays for his teammates. That has resulted them in winning games. Lonzo has been put under an enormous amount of pressure because of his father. And even leading up to last night's game against the Wizards, LeVar made it clear that the Lakers wouldn't lose 2 in a row. That led Wizards center Marcin Gortat to say on Twitter that the Wizards point guard John Wall would absolutely torture Lonzo. As disgusted as it makes me to say this, LeVar was right. However, the more he speaks about Lonzo, the bigger the target Lonzo will have on his back every night when he steps out onto the court. Coming up on BA Sports, Iowa State football coach Matt Campbell could have bigger programs looking for his coaches during the offseason. You're listening to The Edge 88.1. You're listening to The Edge 88.1. It's AJ in the second half of BA Sports. Matt Campbell is in his second year as the head coach of the Iowa State Cyclones football program. And ESPN college football analyst Kirk Herbstreit started a whirlwind of rumors with a tweet over the weekend telling athletics directors that are looking to hire a new coach to stop in Ames, Iowa and pick up Matt Campbell before someone else does. However, Campbell reassured people that he wanted to build a winning program at Iowa State, but that could be too good to be true. In college football, money definitely talks. Campbell is currently making about $2 million per year at Iowa State, which is ranked 53rd in the list of top salaries of college football coaches. With the Cyclones ranked number 25 in the AP Top 25, he is technically out-coaching his worth. If Iowa State's success continues, this could be scary for Cyclone fans. Unless Campbell gets a raise and extension, he could possibly find that money elsewhere. Coming up on BA Sports, Indianapolis Colts quarterback Andrew Luck has been out of action since New Year's Day. After many pushed back return dates, it makes sense for the Colts to shut him down until next season. You're listening to The Edge 88.1. You're listening to The Edge 88.1. It's AJ in the second half of BA Sports. Indianapolis Colts quarterback Andrew Luck has been out since January after undergoing surgery on his throwing shoulder. He was supposed to return in July before training camp, and his return has continued to be pushed back further and further due to soreness and discomfort during throwing sessions. But what I want to know is, why the rush? This is the franchise player for the Indianapolis Colts. He has proven, when healthy, to be one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. The Colts are sitting at 2-5 through the first 7 games this season, and those wins are against the 2 worst teams in the league, the Browns and the 49ers. According to the Football Power Index, the Colts have a 0.1% chance of making the playoffs this season. The more games the Colts lose this year and the more Andrew Luck gets time to heal, the better the Colts will be next season. They will get a top 3 draft pick and give Luck an essential piece that the team has been lacking since his arrival in 2012. Coming up on BA Sports, we all know that one person who takes things too seriously, but last year's most outstanding player of the Final Four, North Carolina's Joel Berry, broke his hand over a video game. You're listening to The Edge 88.1. You're listening to The Edge 88.1. It's AJ in the second half of BA Sports. North Carolina Tar Heels senior point guard Joel Berry, who was last year's most outstanding player in the Final Four, broke his right hand by punching a door after losing in NBA 2K18 to teammate Theo Pinson. When head coach Roy Williams was asked about the incident, he said, "He did a silly thing, that's what it was. One of his greatest characteristics is his competitiveness." Is that really how he feels about this? His starting point guard that led the Tar Heels to a national title last season, someone who is supposed to be a senior leader, breaks his hand outside of basketball, and this is how the coach reacts? Sure, it's still the offseason, but this team should be getting prepared to defend their title instead of figuring out who their starting point guard will be until Berry returns. It is unknown how long he will be out for, but it is estimated to be about 4 weeks. This means he will most likely miss the season opener against Northern Iowa on November 10th. Coming up on BA Sports, I'm going for 3 in a row when I make my prediction for the loser of the weekend. You're listening to The Edge 88.1. You're listening to The Edge 88.1. It's AJ in tonight's final segment of BA Sports, which means it is time to pick the loser of the weekend. Number 25, Iowa State, ranked for the first time since 2005, hosting number 4 TCU at Jack Trice Stadium. The Horned Frogs will be coming to Ames to receive their first loss of the season, while the Cyclones prove that they are meant to be in the top 25. It's got all the makings of a great game. No one expected TCU to be 7-0 and ranked 4th at this point, and definitely no one expected Iowa State to be 5-2 and ranked 25th. There's one thing that it will come down to, and that is the weather. It was 85 degrees in Fort Worth, Texas today, and the average snowfall there is 1 inch per year. The projected forecast for Saturday's game in Ames is 42 degrees with a chance of snow. This is the perfect weather for Iowa State to get their second top 5 upset of the season. For those who aren't aware, Grandview University has cut the funding for KDPS Radio, so we are trying to fundraise to stay on air. For more information, please visit gvumedia.com. We will be back to normal next Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m., so I will be with Brandon. Thank you for listening to BA Sports on The Edge 88.1.
Hey, wanna play this new video game with me?
Sure, that looks like fun.
Gosh, this game is bad.
It really is. I could create a game better than this garbage.
Actually, I heard Grandview University will be the first university in Iowa to offer a campus-based bachelor's program for game design.
Wow, I could become the greatest game designer that ever lived. Where can I sign up?
You can go online at admissions.grandview.edu to learn more. That's admissions.grandview.edu.
Knock out in the shotgun, 2nd and 10 from the 32. Vikings up 6-0. Knock takes the snap, looks left, fires deep to the end zone. Looks like some contact there, but incomplete. Pass intended to Alex Brammer.
And it looks like the referee's going to let these guys play today. It's rainy. It's kind of like an old school football game. There was some hand fighting, some contact, but nothing too major.
It looked like it was coming from both ways, so I think that was a good no call. At 3rd and 10 from the 32. See if they can get a few more yards to get in field goal range. Looking over to the sideline. Get their play call.
It's a tough 3rd and 10.
Knock is in the pistol. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Travian's back in the game. It's a toss play to the left. Running to the outside, going towards a first down. Pushed out of bounds. Travian Smith with the carry. And there's a flag down in the backfield. A Bobcat player walking off the field. Referees discussing it over.
Bruce State's really done a good job of kind of keeping the edges on these running plays. Grandview likes to get outside with the ball, and they just have not been able to.
The Viking offense has tried to move the ball slowly down the field. They've been getting those few yards, and that's all they really need.
Grandview's really known for that explosive vertical offense. Like, they've been putting up yards after yards, but they've just kind of played dink and dunk all day in this weather.
Looks like offsetting penalties on the field, so that run will be canceled out. Going back to 3rd and 10 from the 32 with under 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Knock in the shotgun, Travian Smith to his left, 3 receivers to the left. Smith gets moved over to the right side of Knock. Knock takes the snap, drops back, under pressure, trying to get away from it. He got away from it, throwing down the field. A catch was made. Was he in bounds? They're saying yes. Wow.
What a catch.
I believe that was Josh Carrera running over to the sideline, helping his quarterback out.
That was a heck of a catch by Carrera.
What a play. And Travian Smith with the run on the hurry up. They're signaling that the Vikings are signaling that he's in, but the refs signal he stopped short.
And it looks like Grandview's going to go with a hurry up here, trying to get in there.
A 2nd and goal from the 2. Excuse me, they're right on the goal line, going quarterback sneak. Knock pushing forward.
Looks like there's a big scrum.
It looks like he stopped short once again.
Peru State is standing stiff here.
Trying to complete the goal line stand here. 3rd and 1 from the 1.
Peru State has that box stacked. It'd be interesting to see if Grandview wants to go to the outside.
This would be a good time for one of those play-action fakes. They're beefing up the line, both sides. Knock under center, going to sneak again. It looks like he's in this time. Yes, he is. Touchdown Vikings off the sneak from number 12, Jordan Knock. Viking senior quarterback from Gilbert, Iowa. Instead of going for 2 to make up their missed extra point earlier, the kicker for the Vikings is back out. And that one is good. 4:13 left to go in the first quarter. The Vikings are up on Peru State 13-0.
Grandview's definitely winning the time of possession here, keeping Peru State's triple option attack off the field completely.
That's what Grandview has done well all year long.
They've been able to keep teams off the field, and Peru State's going to be set to receive this kick, and they're going to need a big return here to get some momentum back on their side.
And that's how Grandview's been successful, taking long possessions, moving the ball up the field, occasionally looking for the big play when the defense is sleeping. And now Peru State looking to answer for the first time today. I missed his game. And the Vikings will kick it off. Short kick. Fielded at the 10. And the Vikings appear to stuff him at the 25-yard line by AJ Flodman.
Bobcats football, 26-yard line. 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
With 4 minutes left in the first quarter, as Peru State's offense marches out on the field for the second time today, looking to put some points on the board. Carnahan is under center. Got two backs behind him in the I formation. Hands off, fake handoff to the fullback, getting that triple option. Tosses it to the outside. Carnahan pitch to Darren Pass. Looks like for a gain of 2.
Pass his former college was Troy University.
Wow, he missed. Looks like he left a year too early.
Missed out on that big upset last week
against LSU. Yeah. Second down, looking to throw. Got a man near the left hash. That's number 3, David Bond Jr. for the Bobcats.
Bond's got that big frame at 6'6", 235. It'll be interesting if they get down to the red zone, if they go to any jump ball situations.
These are the first signs of the Bobcats moving down the field today. The 1st and 10. Carnahan under center. The I form. 2 receivers to the left. Takes a snap. Hands off to their running back, looking to cut back upfield. They're really going nowhere. It's Darren Pass again. It's a gain of a few yards there.
And Pass is definitely a playmaker for this guy. They're going to have to get him going on the ground to be successful in this one.
Yard line.
There's a stoppage on the field.
We are in a weather delay.
And it looks like there is going to be a weather delay.
Must have saw lightning somewhere around here. And I believe is it 20 to 30 minutes, AJ, for the weather delay?
I believe so. I think after there can't be a lightning strike within 30 minutes. Which we've been hearing the distant thunder for a while now, but it must finally be approaching.
Yeah, it'll be interesting
Williams
to see if these teams can handle the momentum they had going in. I mean, Peru State was marching down the field before that.
For safety, we are in the midst of a lightning delay. We will keep you posted as to the status of the game.
Grandview, looks like the coaches are taking the players off the field as the Bobcats are heading towards their locker room as well.
What I'm interested to see so far, I mean, Grandview's dominated time of possession here, and Peru State's finally got some life on offense, but are they going to be able to keep that in? I mean, these teams are going to have to come back out at the delay, and also they're going to have to warm up.
Basically, it's going to be a brand new game. They are almost finished with the first quarter. But, well, like I just said, it could be a new game once these teams come back out. Grandview had the momentum early on, but coming back out, Peru State, they could be fired up, ready to go.
And it looks like the PA just announced that it's going to be a 30-minute delay for the football game.
And in conditions like this where, I mean, it's not warm, it's definitely a little chilly out here. And that thunder was pretty close. Maybe it is a good idea that these guys are going under delay.
I mean, what it comes down to, it's better to be safe than sorry in a situation like this. I mean, if there's lightning, get the players off the field, get the fans in some environment like that, and overall, that will just keep everyone safe.
Well, let's go back to the momentum swing. You know, Grandview's been moving the ball up the field pretty easily on this Bobcats defense. Peru State, they were finally starting to get something going on this drive.
Yeah, Carnahan looked like he was really composed under center, and they've been running the triple option like they're supposed to. I mean, they finally broke the outside containment Grandview's been having for the first drive, and they got some sizable games.
It appears that Grandview has targeted the outside run. The triple option, they're looking to get to the outside, whether it's the quarterback or the running back.
I mean, Darren Pass, if he gets the edge, I mean, he's gone. And it's great that Grandview's doing a great job of just containing him. I don't believe that Knock has been affected by that offhand taking snaps. Everything's looked clean so far.
Yes, so far indeed. He's looking comfortable like he normally does. It doesn't look like it's affecting him in any way. He's playing the way he usually does. Confidence, short passes, long passes. Even in this terrible weather, he's looking like his usual self.
And typically in terrible weather like this, you would think Peru State would stack the box, but I think Knox keeping him honest by throwing the long ball to Bramer.
And in games past, Bramer's seems to be the primary target down the field on the streak routes. After they, get a couple of plays up the middle on screens, the defense falls asleep, and that's usually open down the field. He's throwing perfect balls down the field, putting his receivers in great positions to make plays.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more there, AJ. So, there's thunder all around us right now, so it's looking like probably half hour to 45-minute delay, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and the rule is after every lightning strike, there is another 30-minute delay to ensure that the lightning and the dangerous weather is far enough away.
Yeah, it looks like it could potentially be an hour. Teams are gonna tighten up in there. I mean, all these athletes get real, warmed up, loose for the game, and then they're gonna go sit in that locker room, kind of just talking about what went right, what went wrong for that first quarter. But there's a lot of football to be played.
And we touched base on that, but let's get a little more into it. We both know from track and field experience, when the weather gets cold and you're running a race maybe every 45 minutes or an hour, you have to be constant. We're told, or the coaches are telling us to constantly move, but they can't do that when they're in the locker room.
Yeah, there's a ton of guys packed into a small locker room. It's gonna be interesting if they will see any cramping or anything when these guys come out.
It's definitely warmer in there than it is out here, as we're doing our best to stay dry, stay away from the lightning. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Do you think they'll have warm-up time when they get back out?
Yep, the PA just announced that it's going to be a delay of at least 45 minutes, and usually when teams come out of these delays, if they're allowed to play after 45 minutes, they're going to give 20 minutes or so, get the guys loose, do some jogging, do some stretching, maybe run through a few different defensive schemes that could work against this triple option attack for them.
And not only do they have to worry about cramps, but they have to worry about pulled muscles.
Oh, yeah.
Torn muscles or other injuries, because these are definitely not ideal conditions.
Yeah, and the rain's really starting to come down pretty heavy, so that field's going to be slick. I mean, turf, it looks like it's draining the best it can, but there's puddles forming in the back of the end zone towards the track. It's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see a different Grandview team come out of the locker room. It's going to be between Peru State and Grandview. Which one of them is going to come out and swinging first? I mean, both teams, this can kind of be a big mental distraction.
Well, when we left the action, Peru State had the ball at the 42-yard line, moving the ball up the field. They're facing a 2nd and 7, and with 2.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter, the Vikings are up 13-0. But like we said, it's a new ball game when they come back out after this delay.